our first live stream that I have with you. And there is something that is going on in this country that we should address it, we normally say, as early as now. As we speak, faction, they normally call it faction, has emerges in ODM party as it concerned. We have the one that is now working closely with William Samoei Ruto, and to have now the other camp of people who are not pro the broad-based government. And there is something very interesting happened yesterday, as we all know. Yesterday, the so-called the neck of ODM party, they converged there in Mombasa, and they decided to do away with Edwin Sifuna as their Secretary General. In that, si tu kitu yenye like they have wake up one morning, then they decide that we are going to do these changes, or rather we are going to do that changes. It might be something that it has been in progress, something that they have been planning for long, and something that it is now was it its right time to execute it. And it was executed yesterday. The backlash was there. The backlash was quite difficult, or rather, the backlash was not what they were intended that it will be the way it is. It turns out that now Kenyans on social media they were pro Edwin Sifuna, and most of them they were saying that there is no way we are going to accept Edwin Sifuna to be sacrificed because of his stance. That is not the first time that this guy is coming up with the stand that he has. Sifuna has been consistently saying that there is no way a there is no way they're going just to sit down and allow the party to be sold to William Samoei Ruto. And guys, in case this is your first time you have watched until this time, kindly please bear with me. I've just forced me to come up with this live stream, something that I haven't planned for, but I'm coming up with different videos and I'll be bringing to you guys. Now, things escalated. Kenyans were like, we are not accepting our own to be sacrificed. 8 people were very bitter, and others were very bitter about that. Now, from the shock of events today, was it around 12 p.m.? Edwin Sifuna addresses the nation. And among the reasons that this guy gave us was that, the ODM party is now working closely with William Samoei Ruto, but now they want to take him as a sacrificial lamb. Why? Because this guy refused to dance the tune of Broadbest. And this guy was very clear that I'm going to stand with the people. I'm going to work with the people, and I'm going to do everything in my capacity to ensure that the party which the late Raila Amolo Odinga left us is not going just in hands of so-called Ruto. Then Sifuna affirms today that he is now the Secretary General of the party. All these things that we are witnessing is just a drama, and they have what they should follow for a party to reach a certain decision that they had today. And things was clear that there is no way Edwin Sifuna will read the resolution that the party is going to affirm it working with William Samoei Ruto. For that reason, it has now forced them to do away with Sifuna so that they remain the people that will be pro the government. Let's now look at Orange Democratic Movement the way it is. Orange Democratic Movement is more of democracy. And guys, as we all understand, democracy is the rule of the people by the people. Each and every person has its own opinion. I may have mine, you may have yours, but at the end of the day, we must all converge at the same position. Or rather, at the end of the day, we must also arrive at the one agreement. In any other way, they normally say we all have to arrive at the one decision. But what we have witnessed is that we have those that are pro this movement and to have those that are not pro this movement. And now these things has now escalated. Two ODM is now has been formed. The ODM of William Samoei Ruto, we all understand that, and the ODM that supports the idea of people, the people. eh? And now the problem is that we don't know how these things is going to be executed. Kwa sababu it is clear that things is going to be so interesting and things is also going to backfire for whatever reasons. And now these things also, it now has come up clearly that there's no way this guy is going to do ABCD or YZW when they're in ODM party. ODM is going to not to allow him. And that is the way it is, and that is the fact. Na sasa ndo tukakuja tukajiangalia tukaona if that this person has committed this mistake. Tunasema we are man, we commit mistakes at times. If this person has committed this mistake, why don't they just call him wamwambie, bro, this is the mistake that you have committed and we are now leading you to disciplinary, so that after disciplinary they can be resolved. Wajue, okay, now we have to remove Edwin Sifuna as the secretary general of the party. But now they go sit watu wadogo kidogo, then they come out to say this is our resolution that we people want now to execute it. From there, it really backfired, or rather, we may say that it has backfired. Now, all have said it done. The problem is that this is as an attempt to overtake the party of Mzee, the party of Raila Amolo Odinga, the party that was formed through the protest, the party that was formed through the resilience, and the party that was formed through all these fights that we have witnessing Raila Amolo Odinga doing the moment he was on this earth. Some say that this is a good move. Some may disagree with it that this is not a good move. So the right trajectories is that which faction of ODM will win this war? That is now an open discussion. Guys, you can also help me to discuss it in comment section. Which faction of ODM are now going to win this war? Is it the ODM that is pro-government, or rather the ODM that is now kneeling towards Edwin Sifuna? Which camp? We have now two camps, well tweeted. Which one is going to win this war? Waiting for your comment. I'm reading them there on my PC. Waiting for your comment, guys. Which faction is going to win this war? You know, when something begins like the way it has, some may thought that it was just like a plan, but you know, something that people has not come to realize is this one. William Samoei Ruto was the person executing this plan. William Samoei Ruto was the guy behind all the plan that all dramas that you have witnessed. It was not to do with Oburu. Oburu is old. It has nothing to do with these people in that party. But now the main person, wanasemanga the big fish, to execute all those plans was William Samoei Ruto. And why am I saying so? If you have been keenly following the politics of this country, it is clear that Rigathi Gachagua at times say that William Samoei Ruto has bought the ODM party. And now the plan has it that the time is just waiting for it to arrive so that he remove those people who are not pro. Hmm? Remove these people who are not pro broad-based government. And one of these people, you know them. It's not something new that we are here talking for it. Some of these people, you know them, guys. Eh? The likes of Edwin Sifuna was to be removed. The likes of Orengo was to be removed. You have seen Caleb Amisi has also been kicked out. He's not even a member of NEC committee. And others more. Also is clear. Deputy party leader anasema okay, the secretary generals that they know as the ODM is concerned now is Edwin Sifuna, not when other secretary generals that they have given them. You know, call was it Catherine Omanyo? Catherine Omanyo is a she is Catherine Omanyo. She is a woman rep in Busia County. No, what these people are doing is very simple. They're just trying to fight the lawyer in this vehicle that we have bought, so that huku huyu jamaa anapiga na huku kule kwingine this guy anapiga na huku, and these things is now also boiling nicely. Let me try to check here what's happening as we proceed. You know, I wake up very early in the morning. I tried to go through the X to know what's happening there, and things is very nice and things is exploding nicely. So people ought to understand all this that is happening, and people need also to be aware. The politics of ODM, we have now to, as I'm just reminding you guys, the one you know it, and the other you also know it. And now these things is very interesting. When you try to look it keenly, assume that now this party zimeformiwa, we are going to have to, and these things, a minute, 2-1, yeah. It is something I'm trying to do here. I'm coming to you guys. It is something I'm trying to confirm here. If I'm ready, then I'm coming to proceed. Now, let's try to see. Let's try to see here. Okay, it's right. Okay, now, according to the research that the latest development that is happening is that the major people now, guys, we have seen how these things has been done. Let's now go to Edwin Sifuna himself. What is his stance, and what will be his next move now that all has been done? What will be his stance, and what will be his next move? Now, let's try to get it very fast. Let's try to get it very fast. Where I sit, I tend to think that Edwin Sifuna, Babu Owino, together with this guy called uh, Ndindi Nyoro, they should just come up and do what? Form their own party. Edwin Sifuna forming his own party, already the guy has a support. The support of the people across the nation. Mm? The support of the young people and the support of the people across the nation. It will really help him to maneuver all these murky situations the way it is. So, the next move that this guy is again going to do is to mount a legal challenge. A legal challenge here now will opt to go to court and to challenge this to court. It will now court affirm him as the Secretary General of the ODM party. He can also challenge the neck. You and I, we all agree on that. He can opt to challenge the neck. And removal of Edwin Sifuna from office was unconstitutional. That's why the move of challenging the court, challenging the action in court, is now coming in. How? You know, for you to be subjected in anything pertaining removal, one, you should also face disciplinary committee. They should outline your problem or rather your mistake. After outlining your mistake, they should also give you time to defend yourself. It's not something that you just wake up a day, then decide that Muku, we are now going to be out of this position. Then my question will be how? Some people ask themselves, which mistake have I committed? Ni kitu gani nimefanya mbaya? Or rather, ni kitu gani yenye nimefanya? As he said clearly that my mistake was to support Kasongo. That is the big mistake. Freedom, we have people who can choose whom to support, and you can also choose whom not to support. It is not that they will ensure that it is this person we want you to support, and you should ensure that you support that person. That's not how things is taken. Now, another move for Edwin Sifuna is to do something that called political counter offense. As he announced publicly that he has a rally in Kitengela. So political counter offensive is now he will take it to the people, and he will now mobilize the supporters that support him to Kitengela. He has announced that he's going there. He will now come out to these people, announce that I'm going now to Kitengela. Now, my people, let's meet there. And when the people will meet there, Edwin Sifuna will do something that called political counter offense. It will be clear that he will have people from all indication. Mutona, the guy has the people. The guy will have that massive crowd. For that, he need a support of people like Babu Owino now to rally behind Sifuna. One like James Orengo, and now they will be now backing him. And from that, Also, they will also stand and accuse the neck for what they took was not as what they were expecting. Support you have now uh, something that called internal party process. They shall now say that let's now go back and try to do what? To figure out our internal party support. So that at least they come together wanaona how are we going to manage this. They call a meeting. Oburu now has to call a meeting, and that meeting should also include Sifuna, and that meeting should also include the member of NEC, so that they can sit down waseme, okay, this is what we resolve, and this is the reason that made us to resolve the way we resolved. We feel uncomfortable for you to be with us. We feel uncomfortable to hold that position, yet you are talking against the Nini. Hmm? Let's now try to give you a future of ODM party. Let's finish with that future of ODM party. You know what is now its future? It has already future of ODM party. So the future of ODM party, as we all understand that it is not going to be the same again. That is something that we all have to understand. It is not going to be the same again, and it is just clear. mm, it's not going to be the same again because the internal power struggle is not going to shape its identity. And identity, we have that now amidst this current serious internal leadership battles that we are witnessing between the faction over different direction after the death of the long-time leader, the late Raila Amolo Odinga. You know, the NEC leadership are trying to assert the control and calm the tension. But from all indications, this is not trying to calm the situation. They're trying to escalate the situation. They're not trying to calm the situation. Hmm? You know, we all expecting that this NEC, the internal committee, what solution they will should come up with is to calm the tension that is in party. But this guy are not calming the situation. This guy has now taken, now they're escalating the situation. Trying to kick out Caleb Amisi is not something that these guys are now calming. Chasing away Edwin Sifuna is not something that these people are calming. Now, let's try to see the consequences of them. You know, the next leadership, now that, this leadership vacuum manufactured in fight cool, we have that weakening the party cohesion ahead of 2027 election. And it has really weakened it. It has now eroded the trust among the grassroots supporters, me and you, grassroots supporters that we were supporting this way. When we see this infight that is happening, you feel like I'm no longer again going to support this party. It is now eroding that trust that me and you had in party. Assume that I was a die-hard member of ODM. You have seen how Nuru Okanga has said. Nuru Okanga has said that he's no longer going again to be the member of ODM, meaning that these things has really eroded that trust. And as a party, when it lost that trust, it means that the next trajectory that it's taking is not good. It's not the open space for viral opposition. Now it has given space for splinter group to emerge. Any group that now will be having its own ideology in ODM is now coming to emerge. This will be group of Oburu, this will be group of Orengo, this will be group of Babu Wino, and other will be group of Ruto Samoe. Now, this party, now we have to look about the party identity post is insanity. The party identity. You know, with Raila Amolo Odinga passing, ODM is struggling to define something that is called a new central figured and ideology direction. That now each and every person is now anavutia upande wake. That now hawakuji waseme like, okay, this person has died and now our party is taking different trajectories. Let's try as much as we can so that at least this party remain to be our party. But now it has taken another trajectories. Now the big thing is now about its coalition. ODM has to go to coalition. That is the elephant in room about its coalition. How are they going now to ensure that the coalition we are going to make, we are moving with all people? We are not just moving alone. We are moving with almost all of our support. How are they going to ensure that? That this is the move that you are making, and you are ensuring that you are moving with all our members, with all our supporters. Now, this faction is now trying to bring something that call difficulties in coalition making. Coalition making is going to be something very difficult. Let's say that the uh, recent, let's say that the recent move indicates that ODM party might or rather is going, and its priorities coalition talk is with President William Samoei Ruto, UDA party ahead of 2027 general election as its strategic calculation. Will they win it? I don't know. Will they? Kwa sababu as they are moving in this next nini, they should ensure that they move with all people. Haufai wache mtu yote nyuma. So the big problem is to William Samoei Ruto. Will he buy the ODM? Yes, we cannot deny that fact. But the problem is watu ngapi watamfuata kwa the new ODM? Kidogo sana. Hmm? Kidogo sana. So another thing that now this and another thing that this confusion in party is bringing is something that they call now the risk of split and massive exodus from the party. And you cannot deny that fact. Yesterday, most of the people were willing to get out of ODM party. So Asema, if this thing is now what they want, now let us get out of the party. They call mass exodus. I don't know, they were dialing *509 star, then they exit the party. Meaning that now we are now going to have a mass exodus. And this mass exodus will affect the party completely. This mass exodus will risk it going to affect the party, meaning that when Sifuna, Orengo, Babu Owino, and other individuals will decide to move out, then automatically what will remain there will be just a shell. And now there was a warning from MPs that, this thing is going to trigger mass exodus. And mass exodus is something that Oburu should fight as much as he can to ensure that there is no any mass exodus from this party. if he will succeed that, then he is good to go. Now let's look about its coalition potential. Let me say now they are with ODM. They normally call 2027 general election will have now a crucial test. And when we talk about the 2027 general election, let's split it in form of regions. Let me say Western Kenya, Nyanza region, Mountain, and any other. Let's try to divide it the way it is. When you try to, let's say that this one will be in this camp and this one in this camp, wants to ensure that uh, Ruto wants to ensure that when 2027 come, that ODM will have no say. He will be successfully managed. Joho aunde chama chake cha Mlima. Joho aunde chama chake there of let me say coastal region. Then Oparanya will also have his own party there in Western Kenya, and Mountain already is gone with Rigiji. So that when this guy will go to coalition arrangement, and the coalition arrangement is very clear, you have seen this called Oburu amesema I'm going to negotiate with you guys, but what I want is only one. I want the deputy president seat. Cherargei is clear that that seat is for Kithure Kindiki, and they're not going to discuss anything on that whatsoever. And from all these things as it is now developing, Ruto within coastal region will discuss with Joho. When it comes to Western Kenya region, Ruto is forcing Oparanya to form another party. So they will discuss there with Oparanya, meaning that ODM will now be a party of the Luo Nyanza. Very interesting. So that hata wakileta shida atasema guys, nyinyi hata ni chama yenu ni ya Nyanza peke yenu, so that unaona saa yako northeastern. In northeastern, the side of Aden Duale, they will control that place. Now they will work with the Aden Duale to give the votes of northeastern. Huku Luo Nyanza, ODM may split. We have seen Owado will also be running the seat there. And for that, ODM will be no longer the ODM party that me and you we have been growing up admiring, even at times to run on that party. Guys, what is your thoughts? I think this is the end of this live stream, and I invite you for daily live streams that on this channel we shall be having daily stream. Don't It doesn't matter the backgrounds that you have seen. I just say thank you, thank you, thank you. We shall work on it and everything gonna be all right. With that, bye bye.